Hey, all my Pisces friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I'm here today with your January 2024 monthly horoscope. These horoscopes are based on whole sign Western astrology in the Pacific time zone. So when I talk about Pisces, I'm talking about Pisces as the first house. If Pisces is not your rising sign, you'll want to go to any one of the free birth calculators, and you just need your exact time and location of birth to determine what your rising sign is. This is also applicable for Pisces moon, Pisces sun, and if you have a stellium, which is 3 or more personal planets in the sign of Pisces, this is also applicable to you. So let's jump in with January 1st, where Mercury has been retrograde in Sagittarius, which is your 10th house of career. And now Mercury is moving forward. This will be the third time that Mercury traverses over the galactic center, where Mars is conjunct right now. The galactic center is a point in our universe where we can access the quantum fields that offer downloads, information, upgrades, and inspired solutions to things that are challenging us. This Mercury retrograde has provided 3 opportunities to access that information, and that's something we haven't experienced since 2016, 2017. Mercury is technically in detriment in Sagittarius because it is in its opposite sign of rulership. So here Mercury is going through a bit of a stretch. It's stretching itself to dig a little bit deeper, to look a little bit more succinctly into its own personal philosophies, and to get brave about any shifting, any potentials for empowerment that have been otherwise masked by any challenges that you've been walking through within your own personal experience. This conjunction between Mars and Mercury they've been traveling together since fall of 2023. And this has been sort of this continued theme of, will I be brave in my thoughts? Will I be brave in my speech? Will I be brave in my everyday activities to line up more succinctly to that which I find joyful? We also see on the first day of the year that Venus, the planet of our self-worth, the planet of our money, the planet of our skills, is in a exact square to Saturn in your first house. Saturn had been going retrograde in 2023, and now it's moving forward in those first degrees of Pisces for the 3rd time. So here, this is really an opportunity to review where you've been, to look at your hopes and your dreams, to harness your creativity, to get real about any relationships that are not serving your highest and greatest good, and about putting deeper roots into your spiritual practices and making them a priority, making yourself a priority. We do see a challenging aspect here between Venus and Jupiter. And while this is, it's what's called a quincunx, it's a bit of a blind spot. This is where I believe that Venus is still a little bit challenged to see her potentials, to see her talents. She still might be sitting slightly unsure. And Jupiter is offering her an opportunity to expand those things and to start to put down the roots to build herself in the material world, to use her skills to make money and resources. Venus is exalted in your sign. So that's an important note, because she feels comfortable, she feels dreamy. So here she's stretching for that feeling as she's heading towards her exaltation in a few months. We see on the 4th, let me just move this to 12 p.m., that Mars will move into its exaltation in Capricorn. This is very powerful. This is where the red carpet has been rolled out. This is where Mars is a welcomed and revered guest. This is also on the world axis. The world axis is the 0 degree of the cardinal signs. And here, this is in your 11th house of networks, of hopes and dreams, of the cosmic consciousness. It's naturally ruled by Aquarius. And while it's Capricorn here for you, it's also a place where you can renovate and expand upon your history. You can look at your fears and be brave about, are they real? Is this an old story that I have inadvertently brought with me into my future? Here, Mars is really going to want to start to take methodical action. He's here, he's a strategic planner. And we see that 4 days later, or 4 days after the first of the year, Mercury is still at the 22nd degree. So this is coming into alignment, into cooperation with this new philosophies, the new ideas, the broad thoughts, the ideas I have for building my future and my wealth. This is a pacing myself right now to stay aligned to that which is authentic to me. We also see that Mars is in a growing sextile to Saturn. Normally, people think that Saturn and Mars are a bit of opposites. Saturn wants to slow down, Mars wants to move quickly. But here I see this as Daniel's son and Mr. Miyagi. Here's where Mars is being trained, how, certain repetitions and certain lines of thought, while you may not be able to see their benefit on the surface, at a deep level, they will support a bigger dream. We see Mars in a positive aspect, a trine aspect to both Jupiter in Taurus and to Mars's little sister Eris in Aries. And I think this is important because Aries is your second house. So this is about being brave, using your skills. And the third house here is offering you expansion within your thoughts, it's offering you diversity, but it's also offering you almost like a door opens for you to walk through and you get to be brave enough to do so, meaning an opportunity of some kind. All right. We see on the 11th, we're going to have a new moon in Capricorn, and this is at 3:57 a.m. Pacific time. This is the third new moon at 20 degrees. And I think this is significant because the 20th degree is the Pluto Scorpio degree. So I'm really aware of maybe some fears I have, the underbelly that has prevented me from moving forward or paralyzed me in indecision. And now I'm planting the seeds in the dark of night. And while we see a tense aspect to the South Node and to the North Node, this is where I have to potentially be egoless to the opinions of others, whether I appear cooperative or creating harmony, because in order for me to truly be a harmonious individual, the birthing of my own dreams and my individuality is paramount. And I think that's even more important for such a compassionate sign as Pisces, because it can inadvertently be enveloped by the energies around it. So we see this square creating a bit of tension between maybe what is old, where I've potentially been habitual in my behaviors, and now I'm stretching for some individuality. And Eris is here sort of saying, stand up for yourself. You deserve it. And we see this trine to Uranus here at the Libra degree in Taurus, which is your third house. So this is really planting seeds for a new experience within your everyday life, for a renovated thoughts, for a version of yourself that takes your history and overlaps the new ideas you have with your history. So your history becomes a platform for your expansion versus a tethering you to an old story that doesn't allow you to move forward. We also see that on the 13th, let me go back to 12 o'clock. Mercury is going to join Mars in Capricorn. This can happen a little later in the day, but as Mercury moves into Capricorn, the thoughts become of practical building. Where is the tools that I need in order to build a new house of my mind? And I think this is super powerful because we also see Venus is still in conjunction with the Great Attractor. The Great Attractor is a point where I'm literally pulling the things, the situation, the people that I need to move my story forward into my physical experience through my concentrated thought, through my focus, through my joy. So I think this is really powerful. We see that Venus is making a positive aspect to Eris. Eris is, again, the street fighter, the where I stick up for myself, where my wants and my desires are important. And they're important because they don't just serve me, they also serve the collective. We see the North Node and Chiron all making this favorable aspect that as you stretch for this individuality, you actually transform the wound into a gift. And while you may not be able to see that immediately, it may not be evidenced in your physical experience, it will come in the future at some point. Here is Uranus making a quincunx to Venus, and that's a blind spot. It's where the planets aren't quite seeing eye to eye, but yet with the favorable aspect to all this individual energy in Aries, and then the sextile to the South Node in Libra is starting to make me feel as if Venus, in this positive aspect to the South Node in her rulership, says, wow, so as I individualize myself and as I transform myself, Libra is your 8th house, you'll start to see the benefit of that. And that could show up in the form of other people's money, people investing in your ideas, getting that great client, getting a job. Could be all sorts of things depending upon where you've been putting your focus. All right, now let's go to the 19th. On the 19th, we're going to see the Sun and Pluto in an exact conjunction at the Leo degree, 29 degrees. I think that this is a day where we might see a little bit of some sort of disruption on a world stage. I feel like there's the potential that we could hear something about some of the leaders around the world, some information coming out that we were not privy to. And in that information, it may be rather startling. That's all I can say. This conjunction is going to go on for a few days, as on the 20th, the Sun moves into Aquarius. And then on the 21st, Pluto moves into Aquarius for the next 20 years. Now, Aquarius is your 12th house. And that 12th house is, again, an opportunity to liberate yourself from feeling unseen, from feeling any sort of fog, any confusion or deception. If you've been feeling like people are deceiving you, this is an opportunity to liberate yourself from those feelings. We also see that Venus is now within 1 degree of the galactic center. So here, I really think that she's starting to she's got a rhythm now. She's been through this expansive sign of Sagittarius, which she enjoys, where she learns lots of new things. And now she's starting to work in tandem with the universe to collect information, inspirations on what's the next most favorable action to take. And here we see Mercury and Mars continuing to travel together, and Mercury is being asked over and over again, am I being brave in my thoughts, or am I inadvertently giving into my fears? And Mars is here encouraging Mercury, as Mars feels very comfortable in this house and this sign. So let's go now to the 23rd. And this is where we'll see Venus enter Capricorn. And as Venus gets onto the world stage, again, this is the world axis, she's very inspired to build something strong. She's feeling serious. This is not her sexiest place. This is where she's like, I'm tired of giving into other people's agendas. And now I want to build my own. I want to use my voice, my skills to build my financial platform to feel safe and secure and a sense of flow and ease. So I think this is really powerful. She's going to begin a trine to Jupiter, and this trine is going to grow, and it will culminate on the 28th with an exact trine. So as she's spending that week or so contemplating her skills, methodically taking action, checking in on, what's my belief? Am I fearful? Am I confident? And as she identifies that, her actions become very powerful in this trine. We also see that Mercury has passed Mars now and is rapidly moving towards Aquarius. But here we're still contemplating our thoughts. Are we being fair? Are we being transformative in our willingness to move the story forward? Let me back up a little bit to the 25th, because we have a full moon in Leo, and that will take place at 9:53 a.m. Pacific time. And this full moon very much speaks to me of becoming aware of something. And again, this feels a little bit personal. So I can't quite identify exactly what you might have an epiphany about, but whatever it is, it's going to take you in a new direction. It's going to feel a little tense because the outside world may not understand what it is exactly that you're individualizing yourself, Pisces. So as you individualize yourself, the people that are in your everyday world, your third house, may not initially understand why you aren't, you know, worrying about them, frankly. Pisces is so compassionate that it can be too self-sacrificing. And this full moon is going to illuminate your own needs, your own creativity, your own desires. Where is your pleasure? Where is your romance? Where are the things that you want for yourself? And while Jupiter here is making a tense aspect to the sun, it feels as if as my ideas are expanding, my philosophies are broadening, I'm going into new directions I've never been before. The outside world may, or my personal outside world may rustle up against that in a way that feels a little bit uncomfortable, but they'll adjust. All right, and then I wanted to go back. Let's go back to 12 p.m. And I'm going to go back to the 27th. Ooh. There we go. Now we see that Uranus has gone direct. And in that direction, it is making a trine to both Mars and Mercury. And I think this is super significant because this is where at the end of the month, I have really reviewed the energies I've walked through, reviewed my own personal thought process. I've assessed whether or not I am supporting my own dreams by my thoughts. And here we start to feel that liberation. The 17th degree is the Leo degree. This is where I'm starting to feel a real strong energy of I'm building, even though I can't see it in the material world, maybe right now, it is indeed happening. We see Uranus, your ruling planet here in your third house, has moved direct. So I'm starting to feel a little traction. And while Venus is in a little bit of a challenging aspect to Uranus, she is also at the Leo degree. So I think here she's got practical thoughts in Capricorn. So she's looking for evidence in the material world. But Uranus is saying, keep your eye on your hopes and your dreams. What you're looking for in the material world will manifest as you stay aligned to what you want versus what you see. So this is a powerful beginning of 2024. And as we move through the months, we're going to see more opportunities to root in and to deepen our self-confidence that we can live our dreams regardless of what's going on in the outside world. And that's why the divine laws of the universe are so beautiful and so supportive, because as we're aware of our own focus, we insulate ourselves from the herd's experiences, the things that are happening within those that are walking, I hate to say unconscious, but sometimes we as humans get so caught up in our everyday routines that we're not really conscious of our co-creation. All right, my Pisces friends, that's it for me for January 2024. Again, my name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer. I am available for readings if you'd like to book an angel reading or an astrology reading. My information is below in the description. If you'd also like to join me Sunday mornings live at 11 a.m. Pacific time, that's where we do a tarot card and an angel reading for each one of the signs and get the angel's advice for traversing the transits ahead, the week ahead. And finally, please like, please subscribe, please share, and hit that notification bell so you'll know when new content comes out. Thanks so much, Pisces. Happy New Year, and may 2024 treat you well. Bye-bye.